Whilst I'm not the world's strongest cunning linguist that's out there, I do enjoy a word game, particularly when it does something to gamify it. Letters and Legends does just that by adding an RPG style layer to a battle system, and whilst there are a variety of different levels in this game, the main base level sees you in a grid of 16 letters trying to make the longest word possible with those letters. You can put them in any order and they are all ranked with a bronze, silver and gold score for damage, kind of similar to Scrabble. And the more letters and stronger letters that you put into that word, the more damage you do to your opponent. What starts off as a very simple try and make the longest word puzzle though starts to become more strategic, because enemies and yourself start to add status effects to different letters. Some letters can cure and replenish your HP back again with your health meter, but others become inflamed and they can deal double damage. Some become poisonous, so if you use them they damage you whilst inflicting damage on your opponent, and some become cracked so that they don't deal any damage at all but can still be useful to make a longer word. Others become stoned out so you can't use them for that specific turn. And this is all very helpful because it means that you're constantly looking for a new way to make words, because I get lazy with these types of games, so I could find, I don't know, wish, wishes, wished, wishing, and then I'm like, cool, I've got 5 words, they're all done. But once you've spent a letter in this main level, they're gone, and so you're constantly being replaced and taken through to find new words constantly. There are other levels too. There's one where you've got to try and guess what the word is from the dictionary definition. They were quite easy generally. And then there were other levels where you have a much bigger collection of letters. The letters don't necessarily disappear, but you can't make the same word twice. And they start putting in time limits that get increasingly shorter so that you have to really think on the fly. And that's where that wishes, wished, wishing, wishly maybe, if that's a word, don't know, we'll soon find out when I type it in, all comes to the fore. But even then it starts to muck about with all of those status effects that you don't want to engage in or try to avoid where possible. Outside of the actual levels themselves, there are 3 different characters for you to choose from. Each one has a kind of secondary skill to it. So some have more fun with shorter words versus longer words. The mage can heal itself, and you can then buy or unlock through completing levels additional weapons. So one can make consonants score more than vowels. Some can make odd letters or odd words score more than even, for example. Some can be like an A and a C can score really well, or a word that's an animal deals double damage or instant kills people. So that's all fun, and you can also buy potions to improve your defense, strength and health, and they come in very, very handy because the AI gets very tricky late in the game. Well, actually I would say from chapter 3 of 5 onwards. I was having some real battles with some of the AI to get anywhere near close to completion, and I was having to replay levels quite often to make sure that I could get to the end. This is a game that I think would really appeal to people that enjoy games like Word Spire, or if you're looking for an RPG version of Boggle. That's how I would pitch this game, because I actually quite enjoyed it for what this game has to offer. I also really like the fact that it keeps a stat check of what words you've used, how often you use certain letters, and I found that quite interesting because I seem to have a penchant for desperately trying to use an X wherever I can, even though it doesn't necessarily always give me a big long word. So I was finding out some stuff about myself in the meantime. So that's Letters and Legends. It's available on the 26th of April. It can be used with mouse and keyboard as well as controller. And yeah, give it a thumbs up. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/higherplane-network. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.